Diamonds are not as precious as you might think. Billions of people across the globe have been deceived by a company that made diamonds a symbol of eternal love. The idea was simple. If your love is unbreakable, you need an indestructible diamond to prove it. Once someone saves enough money, buying a diamond ring becomes a priority. It's become a status symbol in society. To ensure diamonds maintained their allure, the De Beers company promoted them in Hollywood, decking out stars in diamond jewelry. Celebrities like Beyoncé and Jennifer Lopez wore diamond rings during the Golden Globe. Little did we know, these celebrities were paid to promote the idea that diamonds are forever. Can you see the long con they played? Back in 1997, on the western coast of South Africa, there was a diamond mine called Alexcore. Diamonds were mined here. And this particular year, miners noticed an unusual number of pigeons around the site. These workers saw the birds as an opportunity to smuggle diamonds. See, at the time, South Africa's west coast was known as the Forbidden Zone, an area off-limits to ordinary people. Miners lived in company-owned houses, sent their kids to company-run schools, and were under strict surveillance. X-ray machines were installed, and workers were constantly searched, or even given medication to prevent them from swallowing diamonds to smuggle them out. Lengths the companies went to were astounding, even burying miners who died on the job right there, so their bodies couldn't be used for smuggling. So, the miners trained the pigeons to carry diamonds, tying them to their feet or bodies. But there was a catch. Pigeons were double agents. Police had already trained these birds to catch diamond smugglers, so instead of taking the diamonds home, the pigeons delivered them to the authorities. As a result, over 100 miners were arrested. But the story gets darker. Soon after, human remains began surfacing in the Orange River, and some miners were burned alive. Official police records claimed only 70 arrests, but the diamond companies wielded immense power, stopping at nothing to protect their empire. In 1998, it became illegal to raise pigeons, and a new rule was imposed. If you owned a weapon and didn't shoot a pigeon on sight, you could be punished. All this was because diamonds were considered incredibly valuable, a belief that persists today. Many still give diamond rings at weddings and engagements, buying into the slogan, "Diamonds are forever," a symbol of eternal love. But diamonds are not as rare or special as they've been made out to be. This global manipulation is the work of a single company that has caused devastation in African nations. Civil wars have erupted, millions of children have been forced into labor, and weapons have been traded for diamonds. Let me uncover the dark truth behind diamonds. Stability of the global diamond industry rests on an artificial shortage, carefully crafted and maintained by De Beers. However, this is only part of the story. The second half is even more disturbing. In numerous African countries, vast reserves of diamonds fueled brutal civil wars, leading to untold suffering and countless deaths. Take the Democratic Republic of Congo, for instance. After gaining independence from Belgium in 1960, the country plunged into a civil war, which eventually became a proxy battle between the United States and the Soviet Union. Congo's diamond-rich land became a battlefield, with rebel groups and foreign soldiers seizing control of numerous diamond mines. To fund their warfare, these factions sold diamonds to buy weapons. Despite hundreds of deaths each year, the perpetrators remained unpunished. Angola experienced a similar tragedy. Jonas Savimbi, the leader of the rebel group UNITA, Union for the Total Independence of Angola, sold around 500,000 carats of diamonds annually to finance weapons. Such Savimbi's forces turned Angola's diamond mines into fields of forced labor. Sierra Leone's civil war in the 1990s also hinged on diamonds. Rebel groups sold diamonds to purchase weapons and ammunition, prolonging the conflict and amplifying its brutality. This war became notorious for its horrific human rights abuses, with warlords and dictators exchanging diamonds for weapons to fuel further violence. These diamonds earned the name blood diamonds because they funded wars in Africa, while elsewhere, people bought them as symbols of love and luxury. During this period, many Western businessmen facilitated this exchange. For example, Belgian businessman Serge Muller traded Romanian weapons for diamond mining rights with Sierra Leone's president, Valentine Strasser. Soon became known as Mr. Blood Diamond. In these war-torn regions, children were particularly exploited. During Sierra Leone's 10-year civil war, thousands of children were kidnapped and forced into the diamond mines, where their small size allowed them to navigate the deep, narrow tunnels. Child labor became a widespread tragedy, with children used as slaves in the hunt for diamonds. Film Blood Diamond, 2006, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, shed light on this dark side of the diamond trade, raising global awareness about the exploitation behind the shiny stones. The film's release sparked public outrage, leading many to question where the money from their diamond purchases was really going. However, De Beers countered the potential damage by promoting diamonds even more aggressively, giving diamond jewelry to major Hollywood stars during events like the Golden Globes. Celebrities such as Beyoncé and Jennifer Lopez were paid to wear diamond rings, distracting the public from the grim realities exposed in the film. Despite the film and the media reports that preceded it, the truth about blood diamonds remained a well-kept secret for many. It wasn't until the year 2000, in the South African city of Kimberley, that major diamond producers and buyers came together to address the issue. In 2003, they introduced the Kimberley process, a certification scheme aimed at ensuring that diamonds sold internationally weren't sourced from conflict zones. The Kimberley process was supposed to prevent blood diamonds from entering the global market. Each diamond consignment would now be accompanied by certification indicating the country of origin. Any country unable to prove that its diamonds were conflict-free would be banned from trading. In theory, this was a groundbreaking step toward ethical diamond sourcing. In practice, however, the Kimberley process was riddled with loopholes. For instance, when diamonds from the Central African Republic were found, they were simply smuggled into neighboring Congo, where they received Kimberley process certificates and were sold internationally. This exposed a major flaw: the narrow definition of conflict diamond. According to the United Nations, conflict diamonds are those that originate from territories controlled by rebel groups opposing internationally recognized governments. This meant that diamonds funding government abuses, such as forced labor and torture, were not classified as conflict diamonds and could still be sold. This was a widespread issue across Africa. Children were forced into labor, workers were paid miserly wages, and conditions in the mines were inhumane. Deaths of miners often went unreported, especially in isolated regions. In Zimbabwe, human rights violations were particularly egregious. In 2008, the Zimbabwean army seized control of a major diamond mine, killing over 200 workers. Because this massacre was carried out by the government, it was not considered a violation of the Kimberley process. Marange diamond fields in eastern Zimbabwe became notorious for forced labor and torture. The 2011 BBC investigation uncovered 2 camps where workers were subjected to horrific abuse. Diamond Base, the main camp, workers endured sexual violence, and those who escaped reported widespread brutality. Besides the efforts to regulate the diamond trade, the grim reality is that blood diamonds still find their way into the market, and the human suffering behind the sparkle remains hidden to most buyers.